one thing we say oftentimes is don't ever hire a coach who doesn't have a coach. So if you're ever like talking to someone and you're saying, and they're wanting to like coach you, first question is, tell me about your coach, tell me about your coaching relationship. So I get to work with one of the best coaches in the world. Before COVID happened, I would fly to his office twice a month and then spend 2 hours with him and fly home. And so because I can't do surgery on myself, no one in the firm, we have a saying, everybody has a next level. No one can get there by themselves. Like we all need support. And it doesn't have to be professional support, but oftentimes professional support is great. So, and what I was going to say briefly is, most of the time when we're experiencing rapid change or crisis, or when we're trying to solve a problem or we feel stuck, 9 times out of 10, we think that the resource challenge we're experiencing is external. When in reality, 9 times out of 10, the resource challenge we're experiencing is internal. We actually have an internal resource challenge. And the difference between a person who's going to thrive during the season and the difference between a person who's only going to survive or even like really struggle during the season is their internal world, their internal resources. You know, like when John and Dan talked this morning about integrity, that's an internal conversation. It's not an external conversation. And getting clear on those internal conversations, getting clear on what your internal resources are, is 90% of the battle. And then what's fascinating is the more you pay attention to your internal resources, the more external resources begin appearing, and it feels like magic, or it feels like miracles, or it feels like I'm not like talking about The Secret or whatever, but it feels like it makes things easier, not because the world has gotten easier, but because you're choosing to look at the world in a new way.
Right. Well, yeah, that's interesting. You referenced The Secret. I'm not a huge subscriber, but as I understand it, it's the idea that things kind of come to you if you will for them. But what you described is a little bit more the opposite, which is you have to look internally. You have to understand what your internal resources are, and you need to learn and practice how to access them. You know, integrity being one of them. Are there any other, top of mind internal resources that you feel are the types of things that examples of what we should be thinking about for reaching for internally?
Man, Brett, you're asking me like all my favorite questions.
So, by the way, we're making these up right now, right?
Yeah. So if this is helpful, this is very passionate. Like I'm very passionate about this. It's very important to me. So our firm, Novus Global, has 6 core values. And when you ever hear about companies talking about values, usually that's when I would zone out if I were you, or there's like mission statements and things like that. And but we take our values really seriously. In fact, every week we spend time wrestling with the values. And oftentimes what we say with coaching is, coaching isn't a vocation, it's a way of life. And we like it that way. We picked coaching, all the coaches in our firm across the world pick this sacred vocation because of what it does to us while we're serving people. The better you get as a person, the more powerfully you can serve others. And by better, I mean like the more decent you become, the more noble you become, the more powerfully you can serve your clients and the people that you care about. And I'll say this briefly, like I was meeting with someone today that is helping us design a new contract for this $40 billion company that we're working with. And we were referencing some other folks that I'm coaching in their organization. And I started tearing up. Like I want so badly for our clients to be successful, and for them to have the life of their dreams, and for them to discover what it means to be fully alive. And so this is personal for us. And so to say these, so there's 6 core values, and it's an acronym, and the acronym is Go Live, which is what we want people to do. Like we want our clients to go live. We want companies to go live. We want to create go live cultures. We want artists to live. We want entrepreneurs to go live, Yeah. And so the G stands for growth. And a lot has been written about this. Carol Dweck, you hear about the growth mindset, those types of things. That's very important, like paying attention to a growth mindset versus a disempowered mindset, or some people call it victimized mindset. That's incredibly important. The second, the O, stands for ownership versus blame. Like, are you blaming the world? Are you blaming your employees? Are you blaming your team? Are you blaming COVID? Are you blaming the market? Are you blaming whatever? Or are you taking, I think there's a great book called Radical Ownership, written by a Navy SEAL. Like, are you taking responsibility for your world? The L stands for love. And we define that as like fierce advocacy. Like there's soul in the game. Like when I coach my clients, I play for the love of the game. Like I don't want to do it for the money. I want to do it because to serve people is what lights me up. And then the I stands for integrity, which is what John and Dan talked about. I know you recorded that, so maybe they could get that from you later. And then the V stands for vision, which is actually what Janet is going to talk about after this session, or after the session after this. And then the E stands for energy, which is understanding that your life and your beliefs custom create and expand or detract the energy that you have, and bringing whatever energy is necessary to whatever situation you're facing in order to be successful. So those are like the 6 different conversational domains that we really value.
That's a beautiful framework. That I read a lot of books with a lot of frameworks and a lot of acronyms. So
yes.
Right now, that content is what we got to get out there in the world, because I speak to an enormous number of other business owners, small, medium, large, and they are in search. And what they do is they spend half their day obsessing over government guidance in the PPP loan, or reopening back up and all these different things, and not enough time figuring out what they can do right now. What can we do right now? And some of the framework you described sounds like a decent blueprint to give to some business owners. And we know that, and I keep obsessing over the government because I do feel that is the only person that publicly has been available, or universally has been available. Yeah. And we have to realize that there's so much more, and that help can come faster while we wait for, people to figure Congress to figure out the next aid package, or the state of California, where I am, to figure out, when they're going to open up and all these different things. There's so much that can be done that's available in the private sphere or in an alternative sphere. So I like these frameworks a lot. I'd like to flip it over to
actually, I want to brag on you for a second. So I like that you're saying that. And one of the things that I love about the FutureParty is because a lot of people look at government as the only community that can help them. But there are lots of communities there's like a lot of resource out there. Even for us as a firm, we want to be, our dream is to have a tribe of 10,000 world-class coaches all over the world, and we all could do it by ourselves, but we choose to do it together because we believe that we're more powerful together. We can share best practices. We can help each other level up. There's a romance. We want to be like the Camelot of coaching. Like, we just want to create this thing. And when I, by the way, I love the FutureParty. It's the only email that I get in my daily email inbox that I look forward to reading. Like, I get news things, I delete those now because everything's so depressing. It's all like anger bait or anxiety bait. The FutureParty is the only email I get where I'm like, man, this is relevant, this is helpful, this helps me think like a creative, it helps me think about the future. And I know that I'm not the only person dialoguing around this. And so I think your community, the community that, the folks that you all work with are creating, is an example of an ecosystem. And then there's like EO, there's YPO, there's an organization I'm a part of called Gen Next. Like, find your tribe. I can't tell you how many young leaders and young entrepreneurs are tribeless, almost as like a badge of honor, almost like, I'm a lone ranger and proud of it. And man, that is brutal. Like, we're working so hard, and it could be easier and more fun, and you could grow faster if you just take advantage of the resources that are available to you outside of a PPP loan. So now you can, I wanted to say the FutureParty is a great example of that.
What's up? It's Boy A from the FutureParty here in space, chilling. Hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for more notifications. We've got some amazing things coming up. Check out the description on who the FutureParty is. It's going to be great.